She was quite proper and prim, I would say, Tricia. We used to call her Patouche Ponk. And Lady Muck from Stourey Castle we used to call her, because she's quite rigid, whereas the rest of us would be away rolling in the mud and wandering across the moss. Tricia was more inclined to stay at home.
I first met Tricia in a by-election in Leslie in 1985, of all places. And we heard there was a new activist coming along. And when you're campaigning, you tend to dress for the occasion. You're walking the streets, you're covering the ground. And the new activist turned up, and that was Tricia, immaculately dressed, makeup on, high heels. And I think I probably made the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. I says, well, she's not going to go far, she's not common sense. Who knew? She was remarkable, actually.
It's pretty embarrassing as a teenager growing up with, you know, my mum interested in politics and standing for election, and all your friends getting like your mum's face through their doors on a leaflet and bring them into school and slagging you. But like, you know, how far like things have changed now. Like, she's got her 2 grandchildren who have had the privilege of being able to, you know, grow up in the Scottish Parliament. They've been there since they were babies. They could probably give the tours better than some of the staff.
She was campaigning on the back of this bus, open-top bus, alongside one of the proclaimers, and her and her sister Alice got egged by people going by. So it's changed days. You don't really get that anymore.
And Craig and myself went up along with a couple other people, and we're campaigning, and we'll go around at a housing scheme, I think in Kirkcaldy, and there was a few things thrown. And there was, at the time, there was a rumour going about that Craig and I weren't brothers, that we would had it's a Daily Record thing, you know, that we'd had plastic surgery, to look like this, you know. But I think somebody went past in a van and shouted out something, I can't say it, but something uncomplimentary on the basis of us looking the same. So yeah, it was interesting election campaign. That you meet a lot of people in all walks of life, and people who are good at what they do and they're very intelligent, whatever, they have lots of good qualities, but it's rare you get someone who's got the intellect, who's got the knack, who's got the energy to make something change, and I think she did that in Fife politics. In fact, I know she did it.
First and foremost, she was there to represent her constituents. Very proud to, when she first won her seat in 2007, with a big majority, she was absolutely over the moon, yes. In fact, she got broken ribs with someone giving her a hug. She fractured her ribs.
Hugh Henry, 55, Tricia Marwick, 73. Tricia Marwick is elected as Presiding Officer of the Scottish Parliament.
There are some special people who deserve my thanks, because it is only with their support and love that I can do this job. My husband Frankie, and my children Louise and Stephen, and my lovely grandchildren Roisin and Oren. I love you all.
Well, Tricia's pretty fierce. I mean, she got to be Presiding Officer because she was respected across the chamber. But you knew, she had that amazing ability, you just knew that she was looking at you, even if you weren't looking at her. And that just put you on edge to make sure that you were going to keep within time and that you were going to behave properly.
My first experience of meeting Trish Marwick was actually getting the biggest row of my life. I thought I was being really smart in bringing a simulator baby into the Parliament chamber when I was in a debate about affordable childcare, and afterwards I got the row of my life for breaking all the parliamentary rules. It was absolutely the best thing that could have happened to me, and she was so good at bringing younger MSPs on and giving them the confidence to be the best they could be.
Hillary Clinton at the moment aspires to be breaking glass ceilings, but Trish has already done that in parliamentary terms in Scotland.
She's a fantastic role model for young girls growing up, and also in terms of going into politics. I think she's a great role model. Because she didn't have, a university background, it didn't hold her back, and I think that she brings a lot of grit and her own personality to politics, and it's certainly something that I look up to.
Well, I think Tricia herself and most of us were very proud of the fact that she was our first female presiding officer. But more than that, she was a Fifer, always a Fifer. She came from a mining family, but made it to the top of Scottish politics, and I think that she should take immense pride in that. I think all of Fife should take pride in that too.
Much is made of the 3 main party leaders in Scotland all being female. I think they forget that Tricia was a mould breaker way before us in becoming the first female presiding officer that the Parliament has ever had.
I think Tricia's legacy is enormous, and I think it will be one that we're talking about, you know, many years, generations from now. We shouldn't underestimate the importance of the first woman to be presiding officer, and I think that is really significant. But it's what she did in that role that I think will be remembered most. I think she did take Parliament to a new phase. You know, she changed the way that Parliament holds ministers to account, and that's been very good for Parliament as an institution. And she, building on the work of her predecessors, she really did help to continue to build the Scottish Parliament. It's still a very young institution into an institution that is respected right across the country. So Tricia's contribution to that, I think, can't be overestimated.
Well, she was very pleased about it herself, and we were all very pleased for her. It was a great achievement for her to get to where she did, and we were extremely pleased. But I was even more proud of the way she fought cancer. She had the cancer. She insisted on getting the chemo on the Friday so that she could be back in the Parliament on the Tuesday and keep working through to the Thursday, through First Minister's questions and what have you. She never missed a single one. And she didn't want very many people to know that she had cancer. She didn't want people feeling sorry for her. So that's the way she is. So it was good, we were all really proud of her.
Winning the Central Fife constituency seat in 2007 after 15 years of standing and being defeated in the same seat perhaps showed something of my determination. To be the constituency MSP would have been enough for me, but the privilege of being the presiding officer of this Parliament has been the most fulfilling experience of my life.